Hello, hello. It seems that we are live. Finally, we have some problems because we are today doing this streaming live from the Liquid Galaxy Lab in Lleida, headquarters of the Liquid Galaxy project. So, hello, that's my camera, I think. Thank you. I am on my camera. And we have students from the laboratories there, and also we have our colleagues from South Korea, South Korea. Lower the volume. Victor, hello.
Hey everyone, how are you? Very good to see you.
I don't know if my voice is still robotics, but this is the way, we are starting 20 minutes late. That's because we have some technical issues, but this is the normal. Pablo, baja el volumen de la música, por favor. Victor Carreras, how are you?
Hello, everyone. Hello, Andrew. Hello, Victor. Double Victor, double taste.
Double Victor today. Yeah, we're gonna be super nice to see you, man, and very happy to be doing this together with you and Andrew.
Likewise.
I'm gonna be doing some strange gestures today. That's because I have our colleagues Alex, Pablo, and Marta using the system, and I'm gonna, if I am at home using the OBS, you remember, but I have to look at the different screens today. Instead of doing that, I'm just looking to my colleagues and giving them orders. That's the problem of doing always the two roles, presenting and also doing the technical part. So guys, thank you for staying today with us. Victor Sanchez, I'm gonna say by your surnames because if not we're gonna have a problem. Having as Victor Carreras said yesterday, how was the phrase, Victor Carreras, having two Victors? How was the phrase?
Double Victor, double taste.
Oh, double Victor, double taste. That's fantastic. So
I have to say, I have to tell you as well, double the Victor, double the trouble. So there are some clear issues on having two Victors. Just saying.
And
so
also, if you add my theoretically robotic voice to this meet, theoretically, it's gonna be fun. So let me read a little bit of.
Little by little, we are proving what I have always known, and is that you are an AI, and all these technical issues just confirm that your servers are overloaded or something. But I have to tell you, I have used text-to-speech models that were sounding better than you. So we need to put some extra GPUs in the Andreu system or something. You need extra GPUs. I think that's the solution, Andreu. Nowadays, everything is solved with a better GPU, a larger data center. So I think I'll go there. We'll buy some extra hardware. We'll buy you a new one.
Again, I'm gonna do strange things and maybe giving some instructions in Spanish. Mata la música del tot. No, aquí no, del PC. Treu-la tota. That's because
also
we don't have.
Excuse me, Victor. With my theory,
we don't have a camera that is pointing at of colleagues, but I want to say thank you to Pablo, Marta, and Alex, because they are the ones that Isaac, the ones that are behind the cameras, and this is hard, Victor, because we've been doing that kind of multimedia setups forever, and always this is hard. So let me comment a few things before we start. I have a lovely, you don't see in the camera, but I have a lovely script here. And I was going to say, welcome to Live with AI, because this is a series we started with GTG Spanish streamings a few months ago. We together, Victor Sanchez and me. And this is, I will say, the very first GTG Spanish streamings this year, 2026. We're late. We are almost ending January. We didn't do any GTG Spanish streaming. That's strange. But we will be doing many streamings for the Liquid Galaxy community. That's parallel, not in the GTG Spain community. But as you, Mentor Sanchez, Mentor Carreras, are in the community Liquid Galaxy that I wear the logo here today, we are doing this very first AI episode this year, talking in English, or at least trying our English, and directed to everyone that wants to know something about AI. As I want to say again, please, Paula, could you please put the camera? We have the students of the Liquid Galaxy Lab here. Could you please, guys, say hello? Hello. Raise your hand. There are something like 20 persons there. Okay, thank you. And this is fun. We wanted to do it in another place. We have a setup we have bigger, but finally we went to use one of our laboratories, small ones, big ones, but full of material. So, and we are doing this streaming today, thinking about the Liquid Galaxy project community, but again, it's open for everybody. I will try to look at my camera, but I have my script here, so till next time I have the prompter running. We don't have time for this streaming. I will have to look at other places to read my script. So we are having, what I wanted to say, a tsunami. Could you please put the slides? A tsunami, artificial intelligence tsunami this year. And this image that was created with Gemini, it's clearly, except the logo that was designed by our lovely designer Xavi Key, the Liquid Galaxy AI logo on the left. My camera. We are having a tsunami of AI, and we pretend to do again that live with AI streamings, and this is the first one, and we are going to do something special. So let's go into the places. In this line, vibe coding or helping LLMs helping you. Victor Carras, Victor Sanchez, and lots of students that are here, and our colleagues from the Liquid Galaxy project community, and other persons that can be seeing us at this moment. Things are changing, terrible. I'm gonna talk for a minute, and then I will leave to you two guys, okay? So, but the words that several persons in the world community about computing, and I'm gonna name a few. It was an incredible tweet a few months ago that said the hottest new programming language is English. And the people that knows a lot about we're thinking about Rust or whatever in the last months. English? What do you mean English? It was to be Rust or now it's English? Yes. And Andrew Karpathy, that is Eureka Labs now, and it was AI director of Tesla, not bad, a few million cars in the street, and also co-founder of the OpenAI team. And also has an impressive PhD from Stanford. Every guy that comes from Stanford with a PhD has to have a large knowledge. If they say these kind of phrases, you have to listen. And recent announcements from Google with the Antigravity platform, and Anthropic with his Claude. What is the phrase, the name? I am Cloud Pilot, Victor Sanchez. People is saying that they are Cloud Pilot. Is that the word? Pile?
Sorry, Cloud?
Cloud Pile, something like addicted to cloud. There is a new, you know.
Oh, a cloud file, right? They are like a cinephile, right? But no, it's kind of crazy, right? There is, I think, a new type of addiction, right? And we can talk about that as well. But I think some of these agents are really, really good at becoming addictive. And that has a positive and a negative that it's one of the things that I want to mention today among many other ideas. But yeah, definitely there are some very well addicted people to this new type of conversation, to this new type of work. And I will comment on that as well, because, you know, I have been putting an obsessive amount of hours lately on understanding how they work and kind of putting them definitely, right? So but yeah, I have a comment or two on those, because I have a theory on why they feel so addicting as well, and also how to battle that. So it's something that I want to comment.
Okay.
As well.
Let's gonna go for the matter.
Addicting properties.
Let's gonna go for the matter, because we are a little bit late. So I wanted you two, Victor Carreras and Victor Sanchez, to handle the thing. So we have a little script. Let's try to continue. So Victor Sanchez, what is the agenda for today? What we are gonna do today? What is the agenda for today's show?
So you have been, if you are old enough, probably you started solving your issues in the same way that many of us did, right? And for many, you know, non-boomers over there, they won't remember this, but this all started with Stack Overflow. And a Stack Overflow, for the young among us, well, right now a Stack Overflow is totally dying. A Stack Overflow was like the Reddit for programmers, you know? There is more or less the same amount of trolls and egotistical persons in there. So it's, I think, a good comparison, you know, of having a Stack Overflow as the Reddit for programmers. And to be honest, right, a Stack Overflow was how many of us got knowledge and how many of us got validation as well over the years. In fact, I used to live in a world where how many questions have you answered in a Stack Overflow actually mattered. Exactly. And your profile in a Stack Overflow actually mattered in job interviews. So for many years, right, you have been asking, and programmers and coders, right, and software engineers, and I'm going to make a distinction later between programmers, coders, and software engineers, but everyone that had anything to do with code knew what the Stack Overflow was and asked questions. And then people that could be an expert And this conditional is very important because you never know who is answering you in Stack Overflow. And yes, you had karma and you have better reputation answers than others, right? But the reality is that usually, right, you would get an answer, and that answer could be what you were looking for. So long story short, we have been doing that for quite a bit. And after that, we decided to start, instead of asking Stack Overflow, we started asking these new personas that live in our computer, Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, etc. However, today I'm going to be showing you a slightly different way of doing this, and is forget about asking these fully autonomous minds questions. Let's orchestrate them to do work for us. So what I'm going to be presenting is a 6-stage agent steps, let's say, that won't kind of answer questions. They will be writing most of the code, if not all of the code, for us. However, we're going to do that with an engineering mindset. We're going to do that with a skeptical mindset in mind. And I'm going to show you a little bit of that skepticism idea inside of code. We're going to have a code reviewer. And if you are, willing enough and patient enough, I promise that I will finish this stream with a game show, actually. And an agent is going to be asking me questions, game show style. So yeah, we are going to be doing quite a few things in this
this
stream.
Is going to be a
But
live
the
demo.
most important thing,
Victor,
this is going to be
a live
workshop.
demo. So till now we have
correct.
troubles, and we hope your part is going right. But doing a live demo always is a it's a right.
I like fire. What I can tell you, I like
exactly,
pain.
that's
It's the one I have learned it over the years.
Okay.
I like pain.
Okay, let me comment before we go to Victor Carreras. He has a question for you or for us. I want to say a special hello. I want to send a special hello to our Indian contributors, because this year we have plenty of Indian contributors. Most of the latest years, this year we are increasing at the Liquid Galaxy project community. Most of them are looking for a GSOC intern. So hello guys, I'm looking at my camera. Hello to the Indians and the other persons around the world. We have contributors from around the world. And what I wanted to say, as I've been saying in the Discord in the last days, is that this demo is going to be amazing. And remember, I told you yesterday when we have the Liquid Galaxy project community meet, talking about GSOC, that Victor is going to make your work, so small, because something you did last year in 3 months, maybe it can be done in minutes. As Victor Carreras remembered yesterday when we have the meet, it can be done in minutes. So this is going to be, this is something I will say terrible. I don't have any other adjective. It's terrible. Changes. Let me also say another question for the guys that are looking at their phones instead of the screen here in the labs. We have something like 5 programmers now in the laboratories, people that is studying for developing code, and all of them have a ChatGPT window permanently open next to their code BS or whatever ID he or she has. A few of them also use Claude, and also some uses Gemini. I was happy. Victor Carreras, what do you say?
What I want to say is that's something that I also have to fight, because we have 2 different challenges. The first one is to use AI properly. Because we have seen, with plastic knife killing people, what I want to say in this field, or in a parallel way, AI is great, but I understand as business person or around the IT service company, we have to be sure the way that the programmers use AI is the properly way, because this is something that I would like to go deeper today. And also because the second or parallelly, we have all used Gemini to complete a function, but it's not exactly what Victor Sanchez wants to explain today. You you have built something called an expert agent pipeline, and that opens a window, a completely different way to use AI. Also, Victor Sanchez, I hope to see, a masterpiece of use of AI today. Um, and what is it? And how is the difference from from
So let me try to explain very quickly, right? So basically, what has been wrongly called vibe coding, right, has been this kind of inexpert or not familiar people that has very little knowledge to no knowledge on how applications from web to mobile to any type of app or any type of software vehicle, let's call it, have been saying this kind of vibe coding. I have no idea of what is underneath, right? So I'm going to prompt these AIs to generate code for me, code that by nature of who is prompting them don't understand at all the code that is being generated and cannot interact with the code that is being generated other than by testing that code themselves, right? And realizing that something is broken and then prompt and prompt again. So the issue when this happens, right, whenever an inexperienced individual is quoting or prompting and asking for code to these agents, what is going to happen is that the agents will reflect that inexperience in a way. So what I have created is a number of agents, and you were saying, Victor, oh, I expect to see a masterful, show of AI. I actually want to show you the opposite. I want to show you relatively mediocre use of AI on my side. But what I want to prove today is that with a proper set of agents and a proper set of skills, you require way less knowledge and you still require some knowledge. And these agents are going to force you to get some of that knowledge as part of this process. But what we're trying to do is prove two theories here. Theory number one, that in order to code with agents today, right, to do what I call, AI engineering instead of vibe coding, to do AI engineering, you still need to be an engineer. However, what I'm going to try to prove is that you don't have to be a 25, 35-year-old fart like me in order to get pretty good results if you are using these agents properly. So what I have created is this agent pipeline, and it's basically one agent that is able to access a number of different skills, and I'm going to mention about skills when I go into the code later on. But basically, these agents are going to follow a process that I designed for them and that I designed not for myself. I designed for students of the Liquid Galaxy project. And my idea here is I'm going to create these supporting agents that will make sure of two things. They're going to give you a lot of superpowers. They're going to give you knowledge that when you start for the first time looking at the Liquid Galaxy, they know some things that you don't. However, these agents are a little bit poisoned, I'm sorry to say, for these students, because these agents won't let you advance, and we're going to test that. They won't let you advance unless you show some expertise on the Liquid Galaxy and unless you show that you are understanding what you are doing when you are testing these agents. And we're going to see that, yes, you are going to get code out of this process, but also you're going to get questions out of these agents, and you need to prove both things, that you can be trusted with these agents, but also that you are understanding what you are doing. But the idea here is, can an engineer younger with less experience than me and the proper pipeline do better or do faster than they would usually do? And most importantly, can we still teach them core engineering principles despite using these tools in order to do that? And the reason why I created this is because I was asked, a few months ago to create, hey, Victor, would be nice to have like a web starter kit so people can understand how a web application in the Liquid Galaxy looks like, right? And in a matter of an afternoon, I made what I believe is a really good LG web starter kit. And of course, I used, I maybe wrote 20 to 30 lines. Out of that, I wrote 20 to 30 lines, and there is probably 1,000 lines on that project. I wrote the 20 or 30 most important ones, but you don't know that, right? And the reality is, how am I going to ask students coming to the Liquid Galaxy this year to do what I didn't? I'm going to ask them, hey, AI is forbidden. You cannot touch it. It's not realistic. That's not how the industry works. So if they are going to use AI, I'm going to teach you how I use it. I'm going to teach you why it's important to still having those core engineering principles and what's the difference between asking for work from these AIs with and without knowledge. And you will see that the results vary even with the help of these agents. So that's a very quick
Carreras,
summary of this process.
welcome back, Carreras. Are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything.
So Victor Sanchez, those latest phrases from you are perfect because Liquid Galaxy is, I would say, a complex system, distributed system with sometimes many different computers. So usually the ones that we have here at the Liquid Galaxy Lab in the Scientific Park of Yale are smaller with 5 or 7 screens. But we have remember that when I do the presentation for GSOC, some points of the world we have some with 100 screens, and also still old ones, 100 computers running them. So those are totally crazy systems. So it's a difficult, I will say, it's a complex system, a Liquid Galaxy. And then I have 2 questions for you, Sanchez. So you say, because also in the meet yesterday, we have the opportunity of talking with the students about this, and I say, come tomorrow to the meet because Victor Carreras and Victor Sanchez presentation is going to be amazing. Two things. One thing is that the AI will not solve it directly. You have trained before those agents in the knowledge of what the Liquid Galaxy is. It's not as just going to cloud and say, make me an application. It's not as easy. And also, totally clear from your side, this will be not a real engineering thing. You have to have knowledge about what are you doing. You have to have knowledge about understanding the code, because at some point you have to still maintain, modify, or whatever the code. Maybe at some point the AI in the midterm future will do everything by itself, but not now. So the question will be, how does AI know how to handle seeing and the physics without hallucinating? I mean, how do you train, or how you do train the agents you say you're going to show us?
So I don't know if you remember how you learned or how you teach any of the young students and any of the young people that you have, Andreu, at your lab. Victor, I know that you have many engineers on your team as well, right? But the reality is that how do you avoid, because, I mean, raise your hand if you have ever asked to a junior engineer to go make a task and they come back and they completely miss the point. When they come back and they completely miss the point, that junior engineer that you just hired, whose fault was it? Was it yours? Or was it or that young engineer that didn't know better? I would argue that it probably was yours. It's true, the engineer was really enthusiastic. He was trying, right, to do that. But the reason why that engineer missed the point of the task was because either your instructions weren't good enough or you didn't teach him enough. So that's exactly how you avoid from these systems from hallucinating. And I have discovered 2 ways of making that happen. Way number 1 is, when AI becomes really, really, really good, when it has extremely good examples. So do you know the first thing I did when I was creating the LG Web Starter Kit using AI? I downloaded, and I'm sorry about this, I'm not going to mention the projects, but I downloaded 4 projects. 4 projects, that I mentored and that I knew that I really liked the results of those 4 projects. So I put those 4 projects in the same folder, and before starting the LG Web Starter Kit, I had the AI go in there, and I started asking questions that I knew the answers of, because I mentored those projects, but I was forcing the AI by asking those questions like, hey, what do these projects have in common? Okay, they are projects for the Liquid Galaxy. That's great. What's the Liquid Galaxy? Are you sure that you understand? What is that? Why all of these projects have a server? Hey, why all of these projects use Socket.io? Why are they using WebSockets? What is the need for synchronization? How are they controlling these games? As we were going further and further and further, I managed to fill about 50% of Gemini high context just by asking them questions. And then when the AI understood what these projects were, and only then, right? And I did that by forcing the AI to introspect the code. I told him, we're going to take all of the best practices and all of these projects have in common, to extract the minimum common denominator, right? The minimum common denominator of all of them, because that's the source, that's the template for anyone to build on top of that. And out of those, right, the AI actually learned one mistake that I didn't catch on the mentor on the mentoring on that project, and that is one of the few lines of code that I actually wrote myself, because I realized that the three of them were making the same Socketayo mistake that I fixed as the AI was regenerating it on that place. But number one, give the AI excellent code to copy from. And that is super important, because the AI, when all of that code is in context, it will copy the style. It will copy things like the function length. It will copy how the functions are named. If it's well documented, the AI will try to copy it as well. So the more context of good code that you put in there, and guess what, Andreu? If you hire a junior engineer and you put it in a company that has excellent base code and excellent documentation, those students and those junior engineers do better. Why? Because the context is better. Number one. Number two of things that I make whenever I do these aspects is I'm always curious. And the reason why I'm always curious, I realized very early that these agents, their mission is not to create great code. Their mission is to satisfy your prompt. So they want to make, so if you are rushed, they will create rush code. If you don't care about quality, they won't care about quality, because whatever you ask them to do, they will do to satisfy you. So if you tell them, oh, I want something, we need to pass all the tests, doesn't matter how, you know? Well, if we put everything to true, it will definitely pass, you know, but it won't be properly tested. So what I started doing very early is I had always two agents open, and I didn't realize about this until the very end. And in one agent, I was the student. I was making a project. On the other one, I was, I'm sorry, un profesor muy cabrón. A very, very, very picky, to say very, 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 a very, very picky teacher or a very picky mentor. And what I was doing is I was constantly asking, hey, we are gonna bust this guy, okay? This guy is using AI, he's trying not to learn, he's doing bad code, and you and I, we're gonna catch him. So because now the mission of that second agent becomes being skeptical, becomes being picky. And because he's trying to satisfy me, he's gonna go out of their way in sometimes to the point of lying to me, trying to find defects into that code. So obviously, right, that very pleasant agent that want to pass the test no matter what, because you need to pass this exam. And the other one that is picky, that is, strict to the point of being dishonest, the combination of those two opposing forces, both of them are trying to please me, but they are trying to please two different personas. So I have called that the skeptical mentor. And the skeptical mentor mission is to refuse what you are doing and try to question that code constantly.
Victor Carreras.
Yeah, I have a question about this. Do you think the agents or the difference between models and is completely, I mean, it is really important in order what you are saying, or this match with any different kind of model or for that we can use because I mean, probably in Liquid Galaxy, we will see completely different students or contributors thinking in what is the best. Should I pay Gemini Pro the latest, or should I pay Anthropic?
So I think all of these agents suffer from the same, I'm going to call it a defect, but I understand why they have been created that way, because generating an agent that doesn't do what you ask him is, one, probably very stupid, and second, very silly, right? And could be even dangerous depending on where these models go. So I believe this bias towards making you happy is a defect, right? And again, I use the word defect very carefully here, but this bias towards being helpful that I interpret in the case of very specific, right? Generating code, I sometimes find it dangerous, right? Because it could generate bad code that satisfies you instead of good code, right? Because right now you have the immediate need of something to work, versus having the need of creating a project that is maintainable, that is repeatable, that is understandable, that is readable. And all of those things could very easily conflict, right, with your needs, with your immediate needs when you are prompting. So it is really important to, there are ways to combat that. But answering your question, I believe every model is slightly different. And there are some models, and I don't want to pick favorites today. I'm going to be very careful on not doing that. But what I have seen is it doesn't matter which one. Every model that I have tried has that same flaw. And it's a flaw because of how they were designed to answer your questions and to be useful. In fact, all of their system prompts usually start, you are a useful agent, or you are an agent, your mission is to be useful. You know, they start with that piece on that. And sometimes being useful and being right, being useful and doing the right thing are different things. So you need to be very careful on how do you ask this agent to be useful, because if you are okay tricking yourself, they will be happy to trick you, and you have to stop them from doing that.
Let's try to do something, as we started a little bit late. What do you think, Victor Carreras, if we actually start the demo, because this is the most important part, instead of our words or your super lovely words, and if any moment Victor Carreras and me, we have also some other questions about regarding the agents as well, we can interrupt you. Are you agree with this?
Absolutely. Please.
Okay.
Please do interrupt me. Let's play. You know,
okay.
Let's play a little.
Because this is the important thing. Show me your code. Show me the weight. So actually, my colleague Paula has bring you to the main screen. We have on the left your LG Web Starter Kit, and on the right you two are. I am still there. My image is not shown. No problem. I have not to be, but you listen to me. So Victor Sanchez, it's up to you, and Victor Carreras and me will interrupt you with the other questions if we feel. So the demo has to go.
So let's have a very bad idea. Okay, let's start with a very bad idea, and is let's not look at the code. Let's only look at this folder. Okay. This folder is the agents folder. Is the .agent is a standard in many of these AIs, but most importantly today, it is a standard where Antigravity, which is the IDE that I'm going to be using to talk with Gemini and give you this example, is actually at. And in here, you will see that there are there could be 3 folders. I am only using 2 today, skills and workflows, but there could be a third one that is called rules. So these 3 folders are read by the LLMs that you interact with, and they are injected in the system prompt. This is the skills that you have available, these are the workflows that you have available, and these are the rules that you have available. So you will see that I have created here a bunch of different skills. I call it the Liquid Galaxy Brainstormer, the Liquid Galaxy Code Reviewer, the Liquid Galaxy Executor, the Liquid Galaxy Init, the Liquid Galaxy Nano Banana Sprite, the Liquid Galaxy Plan Writer, the Liquid Galaxy Quiz Master, and my favorite, the Liquid Galaxy Skeptical Mentor, which I'm not gonna open because I want you to experience it first on that piece. But let's go and let's take a look at the Liquid Galaxy Init. In this case, this is the first part of the piece. So each one of these folders that have the name on the skill, they have a standard inside, which is an MD file. And this MD file has different properties. So as you will see, you have the Liquid Galaxy project in it, that's the name. And this is the description of this piece. Help students bootstrap a new Liquid Galaxy project by forking the starter kit, this project, and configuring a standard parameters, 2D, 3D, screens, and orientation. Use this skill when students start a new project based on the LG Web Starter Kit. This is the first step in the six-stage pipeline. Init, brainstorming, planning, executing, reviewing, and the final quiz. And this is important, right? I am giving him an instruction here, a very important instruction that this is repeated everywhere, and it's the prominent guardrail. The skeptical mentor, and here, I'm giving them where it is in the case of my on my development spiel, but here it has the LG skeptical mentor skill, so it will know how to find it. It's active at all times. If you rush, skip explanations, or fail to demonstrate understanding, the mentor will intervene. So here there are a bunch of phases, and a bunch of explanations like the structural scaffolding of the project, the dependency and directory check, the configuration and environment, some very important variables like the numbers of screens. And look at this, this is, I'm telling him, right, usually the screens are actually in portrait mode, not landscape. So there are a bunch of things. there are best practices and reminders. There are execution scripts. But as I said, today we're going to be responsible. And the responsible thing is to go and try this. So I have cloned a clean copy of the LG Web Starter Kit, and I have opened Antigravity. So I'm going to use, for now, we're going to still look at the code a little. So I'm going to use Antigravity here, and let me know, Andreu, if the size is okay. I'm going to put it a little bit bigger here.
Yes, I want, Victor, you to say 30 seconds what anti-gravity is, because not everybody knows what anti-gravity is.
That's a very good point. Antigravity is the Google response to the Vibe coding community. So basically, things like Windsurf, like Cursor, they are all IDEs that are integrated with different LLMs. So Google actually created one, and it gave it a superpower that I'm going to show you later. But Google is very, very good at doing something very special, which are, of course, web apps, right? Google is a web empire. It does many other things, but it is first, at least, or it used to be first, a web empire. So you're going to see how good Antigravity has become at that web, and I'm going to show you later why. But basically, Antigravity is Google response to Windsurf, to Cursor. It is an IDE that has LLM integrated, and it has two modes. The editor mode, which is essentially, hey, this is an editor, right? And you can take a look at whatever is here, and you are going to have a conversation on the right.
I want to add a point here, because
Please.
I have talked previously in other events. This is CodeOS base, because it looks like Visual Studio Code, but Visual Studio Code is not open source, just to clarify this. Visual Studio Code is not open source. The open source layer is CodeOS, and CodeOS is exactly what we are seeing, and this is why we see some products with VS Code visual or styles, but with some differences. Just to clarify this, because I always love to say and to remind, when you are downloading Visual Studio Code, you always see in the center of the screen, open source project. No, Visual Studio Code has a
an open source project. Yeah.
Victor Carreras, also I know you have some work to go away, so thank you for coming today.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and
it's a pleasure always, and we will continue doing that kind of things for the community.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good one, man. See you later. Cheers. So in here, we have the anti-gravity experience, as I was mentioning before, Andreu. Andreu?
Yes, I am.
Oh, sorry. Good. I lost your audio for a second there. I wanted to make sure that still everyone was hearing me.
You are not
so
alone.
Basically, right, this is the next generation IDE, right, as I was mentioning before. And as very well Victor recognized. Oh, hello, Andreu?
Yes, I am here. No?
Sorry, it's...
No?
It keeps telling me that you are dropped from the talk. I see you drop and then you come back. So that's why I'm asking, but I see you back right now and I can hear you. So you will see, a little bit of how these parallel agents work and how you can interact directly with that piece. But at the core, right, is an IDE that is based on, as very well Victor Carreras mentioned, in CodeOS. So without further ado, Andreu, let's start playing with this a little bit, all right? So I'm gonna tell Gemini, and by the way, I don't know about you, but my fingers hurt today. It's very cold in Seoul, so I'm not gonna do any of that. I'm gonna just use the microphone. Hey, Gemini, I am a student of the Liquidity project, and I want to create a new project. I hear that this can help me somehow. And I'm gonna just record my voice.
Demo time.
Demo time. Okay, defining the objective. Look at that. You see what happened? It says, thought for 1 second, and then immediately after, look at that. It analyzed an skill MD, and if I open the skill MD, look at which one it used. It looked at Liquid Galaxy init, because it knows that whenever a student says, I want to make a new project, I have to use the Liquid Galaxy init. So it thought for 1 second, then it did git status, because the skill tell him, you have to help the student, making sure that the directory is a Git repository. Check if they have forked or just cloned. and help the student, right? So it actually looked into the repo. So I'm going to close the code again, because today we are not looking at code. That's so 2025, Andreu, and we are in 2026. All right, so let's take a look at what it's saying here. Welcome, I'm Antigravity, your AI programmer. I'm thrilled to help you kick off your new Liquid Galaxy project. Awesome. The Liquid Galaxy is a unique 360-degree immersive environment, and we have a professional 6-stage pilot to take your idea from a hello world to a high-quality finished product. Great, we need help, right, Andreu? So this is what we're going to do. We need a plan, execute, review, quiz finale. Awesome. Before we get any code, we need to gather some requirements to prepare your workspace. Interactive requirement gathering, phase 1. Okay, so it's asking us a few questions that I'm going to start answering. So project identity, right? What is the name of your project and a brief description? Okay, so we're going to do, we're going to call this LG a snake. And the LG snake is going to be a multiplayer liquid, multiplayer Liquid Galaxy project with neon 2D snakes. Let's do 2D, neon 2D snakes, front style, moving through the screen, gathering several items and growing, unless they collide with the border of the world, or their own snake.
I feel I was in Star Trek before you were talking, and now you're writing.
Oh, it's true, because I want to show you the 1, 2, 3, right? Because it's asking me more than one question. So now I'm going to do question number 2 is, hey, how many screens? I'm going to tell him default 3 screens, but it should be able to scale. So it's asking me a bunch of questions, right? And now Visual Engine, do you want to do Canvas 2D or 3D? I want Canvas 2D today, so we're going to do Canvas 2D. So I'm going to put in all of this, right? So I'm asking, right? I'm answering, sorry, the 3 questions that it's doing. Here, a note on learning. As your mentor, I'll be keeping an eye on your architectural decisions. We follow certain golden rules here, like ensuring that the server is authoritative to make sure the multi-screen experience remains perfectly synced. Looking forward to hearing about your project. Okay, so I'm going to just answer, right, with the LG Snake idea, the default 3, but it should be able to scale, and the Canvas 2D. So let's see what we get out of that second step, if you like.
I think it's...
This is, by the way, Andreu.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was going to say that
Nothing...
it's important to say that the new paradigm of the interaction with the LLM for coding, you just give the LLM a question, and then the LLM returns to you a plan, but
correct.
with the plan and some questions before to write the plan. To make the plan, the LLM asks you questions. So before, we ask questions to the LLM. Now, the LLM ask for us some doubts the LLM has about some questions, and we answer these questions, and now he's doing, or the machine is doing, the plan. Is that right?
Not yet, and you will see why, right? Right now it's still following the skill, but one of the steps is going to be indeed creating that plan. And in fact, if you remember, I actually have a skill, right, which is essentially an MD file that teach the agent something that is called the plan writer, right? So in the plan writer, we are going to force to use that skill. And you are absolutely right. Instead of the being kind of on our side, to be very specific, defining whatever we want this AI to do, the AI is going to try to detect that we were vague, that we didn't provide enough information, and then it's going to try to help us complete the holes on our plan. So look at this, Andreu.
That's the point.
That was a very long answer.
The prompting is changing. There is not too much prompting now. It has some planning from us, some planning from the machine, and then the automatic way of the machine of doing this. Continue, please.
Absolutely. And so as you see, right, awesome. Your new Liquid Galaxy project LG Snake is now initialized and ready for development. I have exported the project to Canvas 2D, configured it for 3 screens in portrait, and set up a minimal hello world, a snake simulation to get you started. Awesome. What I have done is project identity, defined LG Snake, visual engine, cleaned up the 3D renderer to keep your workspace focused and on the 2D canvas engine. So right now it has deleted part of the project. Instead of adding sync, it has removed part of the project in that page.
Be careful.
And definitely, right? And it's saying, I have put a neon renderer with snakes. I have created documentation. And this, by the way, I asked him to do this as part of the skill. But look at that. It has created the project overview. So if we go here to docs, there is a new full document. And I'm going to, by the way, accept all, right? I'm going to just review the code, right? But in this case, I'm going to just take it. So look at this. LT project is name review. This is the name. This is the description. Display configuration via screens environmental variable. The resolution, portrait by default. The canvas 2D. Vanilla.js. It has all of these things. And look at this. Testing, linting. I didn't give him any of that information. What the student doesn't know, but I do as the mentor, is that these AIs are using another trick that I've learned, is that if you give the AI a way to check their homework on their own before they give it to the teacher, ourselves in here, the AI will actually run it. So if there are testing, if there are linting, if there are code conditions on how to write the code in prettier, so it's actually a good code that an engineer wants to read, if you put those conditions, the AI, before finishing, will check. And if it created code that breaks a test, that breaks lint, that is not the code formatted the way that we wanted to, it will actually not deliver it because it's going to be checking. It's going to do quality control on their own. So some I mentioned before, the importance of context, give it good code to copy. But now I'm giving you another trick, and is give the AI tools to self-reflect, tools to evaluate the work that they are doing. Because if you do so, you're going to get much, much better results. So I have this skill, right? This project overview has created a bunch of things and even has given us the ability to run that piece. So in here, in fact, it's actually teaching me, right? Because I'm a student, how to test your LG rig. So I can do npm run dev, open the screens. I can go to the links that it has created for me, screen 1, 2, and 3, and watch the synchronization, right, happen on that piece. And then golden rules for LG Snake. Let's look at this. Number 1, server is king. Never calculate the snake's position on the screen. The server decides where everyone is. The screens just draw it, right? This is what we call an authority server, but it is explaining this, right, in a very clear way. But this is the core of the multiplayer games strategy. Bezel awareness. Avoid placing critical UI elements at the very edges of the screens, as physical rigs have bezels, frames that will hide them. Very important and very logical. Scalability. Notice that wall width is dynamically calculated based on the screen count. This means your game will work on a 3-screen rig just as well as a 7-screen rig. So it has done something in here, somewhere, right? And we can check which files it has modified. But somewhere here, right, it has gone, there is process env screens, there is the size of the screens, and somewhere here, and we'll see later if we can find it, but right now we are not going to care, but it has done something to help us here. Okay, ready to brainstorm your first feature? We could look into the player controller, collision detection, or maybe neon power-ups. I'm going to tell him, instead of a feature, let's brainstorm the basic gameplay as an entire project. So because I know, right, it has told me that the next step is brainstorming. So help me brainstorm.
In another way that the one that the machine present to you. Machine asks.
Yes, so look at this. Analyze, you see?
Yeah.
And it has come
Skill
to my
LG.
brainstorming skill. This is the LG brainstormer. So now the idea here is to turn ideas into designs. So it has a bunch of different instructions that I have given him, and I'm going to hide this for now, but it's reading my instruction as a mentor. I created this to help you think right, to ask the right questions, to make your Liquid Galaxy project better. Okay, so I'm going to ignore a bunch of things here. I'm going to just answer the questions. Step 1, to make this a true Liquid Galaxy experience, how should the snake move across the massive wall? Grid-based, classic retro, high precision, movement where the snake turns 90 degrees instantly. I don't know about you, Andreo, but I love grid-based. So we're going to do A, grid-based.
No problem.
So look at this. I didn't even read the entire thing, but it gives me 2 options, A and B. So I need 1 token, okay? To tell him what I want is 1 token, A. Now, it tells me a Grace choice, grids-based, educational. Wait, this is important, the educational bridge. Grid alignment and bezel. In a liquid galaxy rig, there are physical gaps between screens called bezels. If we design our grid correctly, we can ensure that our snake segments align perfectly with the screen edges. This prevents a snake head from being cut in half by a screen frame, making the transition between screens look intentionally and polished. What it's saying here is that if we do a grid, we should align the grid to where we know that the screen finishes and the next one has. So that's really good. Now, grid and wall scale. Since we have three portrait screens, totaling 3240 by 920, it knows that it's longer than it's taller, right? It's gonna look Usain Bolt, very readable. So now, massive block, 60 by 60, right? Or do we go a standard blocks 30 by 30? I don't know about you, Andrea, but I'm gonna go with massive blocks. So A again today. Okay. I want to be big blocks on the screen, okay? If we don't like it later, we'll change it, right? We could make mistakes, but at least let's be intentional. Massive blocks is a fantastic choice. Pixel blocks mean that on a 90 by 20 high screen, we have exactly 32 vertical rows. This chunkiness will help incredibly sharp and intentional on a Liquid Galaxy display. Sounds awesome. Educational bridge, data normalization. Let's see what it's trying to teach us here, okay? So as you see, Andrea, I am still gonna teach the students, but I'm gonna do it very different this year. When building a grid-based multiplayer games, we use data normalization. Instead of the server tracking pixel positions like 184 for 532, it tracks grid coordinates like grid X 18 and 8. So now it's divided, right? These new coordinates that are 60 by 60, this is an important engineering principle because it makes collision detection, hit texting extremely fast and 100% reliable. The server only has to compare two integers to see if a snake hit a piece of food or another player, rather than calculating distances between pixels, which can lead to ghost collision on large screens. Now, Andrea, do you think that this data normalization was on any of my skills? Question for you.
I haven't seen it. I'm not sure. Maybe.
Let's try it, okay?
Okay. Data normalization. You're looking for into your skills about the words,
yeah,
and no results.
Data normalization.
You didn't do. Was the machine that automatically the machine, the AI automatically make it ask you for data normalization?
Because we did a grid-based world, right? Which is a very logical thing. And maybe we could have a skill that talks about grid-based games, but I didn't make it. The AI knew because that's part of their training data. But what it knows is that I'm a student and I may never build a game before. And I have never done a grid-based system for a game before. So it has to teach me. And it does, because these agents, its purpose is to be useful. But I didn't make them useful to make an application very quick. I made them very useful to make an application quick that you can understand. And that's what we made here. All right, so more things. Neon items and the wow
excuse
factor.
me, Victor.
Sorry.
That it's a goal, very clear from your side, but you can name other ways of doing that. I mean, this is because we are doing a training session, trying to do it. But if you are, I imagine, working for real, I mean, developing something for real, it has not to have this kind of specialities. I don't know if you understand me. I mean, you do that because we are training the community on using that stuff. But if you are doing that for real, maybe for a GSOC project or because you're working at whatever company, you will not do this in the same way because you don't have, your skills are ready to train the student. I mean, they're trying on this, but maybe if you are producing.
So in my case, what my agents, the agents that I use to code my projects, and I'm obviously an engineer with many years of experience, in my case, my educational bot is different. Because what I told him is, whenever you detect that I am misunderstanding something, so whenever I give something that you know is wrong, like I'm talking, about coordinates and I make a mistake. I'm talking about projection and I make a mistake. I'm talking about a PostgreSQL command that doesn't exist. So what I have my bot do is, whenever you detect in my prompts that I am contradicting myself, contradicting the documentation, or contradicting the principles of the technology that I'm using, stop me and tell me. So in this case of the student, right, it's assuming that you know very little, because I told him these are students that know very little, and therefore it's going to be telling us this story. When I use it, I still want the agent to teach me something, because my my point of using AI, and this is something that it could be different for you, could be different for my neighbor, but for me, I want to create projects faster, but I want to learn faster as I create them as well. So I have my AI also points me to things. Hey, this thing that you say on the prompt, I am not sure that you understand how this weird Postgres command works. So just in case, I'm going to tell you how it works. So I have it, right, different because I'm not a student, but I still want to learn. Especially I want to learn things where I think I know, but I don't. So I have my own AIs. I have a different skill, right? And that different skill, I call it the Victor Corrector. And the Victor Corrector, its mission is to find things that I think I know, but I didn't. So, you will be impressed, but I find the Victor Corrector once or twice a week, so it works. I learn new stuff when I find it.
Sure.
But you see that the point. I created a different skill for different users. For the students, it's very educational. For me, it only interrupts me if I'm making a wrong assumption. So, but I still use the same concept. Okay, so trail persistence or a screen shake and flash with a mega item. So how would you gathering items affect the visual impact? Trail persistence, as you go longer, your trail starts to pulse away. So I think we have to do trail persistence. Trail.
Just leave a trail. You're a snake.
Persistence. I'm gonna put adjustable trail, and of course, the snake grows every time we eat something. All right, continues with the questions. Again, we are going over and over, right? So once more, educational bits. When you say adjustable trail, we have an interesting engineering decisions to make regarding separation of concerns. Look at this, right? Separation of concerns. That is a very good, right, part of this. But look at that. Separation of concerns, that's one that Victor Mentor had put on brainstorm, on execution, and on the plan writer. So this is something that I care about a lot, and I care so much that this one, everyone needs to learn. And that comes into that piece. So now it's going to use this moment to teach us about it, right? So separation of concerns. We need to decide if the persistence is a logic thing, the server remembers where you were, or a rendering thing. The screen just remembers what it drew. Here are two approaches for the adjustable trail. Approach number one, the digital ghost, rendering based. Instead of clearing the screen to full back every frame, we draw a very faint, semi-transparent black layer that leaves a smear behind the snake. Pros, incredible liquid look, virtually zero performance cost. Cons, hard to adjust precisely, it depends on the frame rate. This is really important. Approach two, the tail echo, logic-based. The server keeps a small buffer of the snake previous positions. We can even have a trail length, setting it in our controller. The screens render these older segments with high transparency. Pros, 100% consistent across all screens, highly adjustable, mega power up, could triple your trail length temporarily. Cons, slightly more data sent from the server to the screen. Given that we want this to be adjustable, do you prefer approach two, the tail echo, where we have precise control over the glow length via settings? So it's kind of giving that, but because this is in my case, right, I consider this a visual effect. So even though it's recommending me to do this, I'm gonna do the thing that it doesn't recommend this,
One.
I do not think, but I'm gonna tell it with voice.
Hey, with voice.
I think it's an authoritative thing. I see this more as a visual effect. Therefore, we don't want it colliding with that. It's just like a trail on the ground, but it's not collision. It's not required on the server. Shouldn't be on the server authoritative path. I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna send it. So I chose, right, the other answer. But in this case, I gave it a much longer description. Let's see what's happened. Once more, thinking for 4 seconds, spot on. This is a brilliant architectural incident. Ooh, we are learning something here. By keeping the trail a client-side cosmetic effect, we are following a professional game development pattern. Authoritative core plus local flavor. And that's very important, right? In a shooter, the bullets and when are launched and when impact someone is that. But do you think that the server is telling how the blood looks? No. The client does the splash of blood, but the bullet hitting you, that's on the server. This is the same thing that we are doing. And of course, I have coded a few games before. So look at this, right? Since this is kind of ready to get started, so we have section one, core architecture and data flow, authoritative degree system, the server jobs, tick rate, input handling, collision logic, a state broadcast, the controller, simple UI, tends to do up, down, left, and right, concept, deep dive grid normalization by using grid, we avoid floating point errors, where a snake might be in the middle of two things. So a bunch of different things. Next, I will dive into the visuals and those cool cosmetic trails. So I'm gonna tell him, okay, let's finish brainstorming. I want to get started with the game soon. I want to get started with the things. With
Do
the
the real thing.
With the
Stop
game
me
soon.
asking
But
questions.
it haven't done anything yet. But
Yeah.
now I wanted to see why this is so important, because you as a student defining all of these things, a grid, the size of the grid, the trail, what is the trail drawn, is here or is there, how is the wall, all of those things, you wouldn't go and with no interaction write the perfect documentation. You would never do that on your own. But with these agents asking the right questions, you are actually doing that. But let's remind ourselves for a moment. We haven't written anything yet. And the agent either. The agent has done just the
There's no
documentation.
code. Nothing has been
changed
generated.
almost
Just
nothing,
the
right?
agent is almost
So,
nothing. Just the agent is asking us questions about what we ask the
correct.
agent to make. So the agent is preparing because at some point you're saying, let's stop this interaction and let's go to the work.
At some point, it will decide that it has enough information to do this. And when it does, we're going to be quite impressed, I hope. Because again, this is a live demo.
Exactly.
Okay? Obviously, this is a live demo. But that's how confident I am. Okay, so look at what this has done now. I love the speeds. Let's wrap up, okay? The design, so we can get your neon snake. Section 2, visual impact and the glow. As snake rendering, we'll use the cosmetic trails, the juice. Section 3, success and criteria. I am not reading, Andreu. I'm crazy, okay? Learning objectives for this project, who knows? Next step, the implementation plan. So once you say yes, I will switch to the plan writer. So it has taken the plan writer, right? The plan writer here. I'm using the LG plan writer skill to create your implementation for the LG's name. Implementation plan. And it has created an implementation checklist, grid foundation, authoritative movement, neon rendering and screen offset, food growth and collision, swipe controller, local cosmetic, trails, the wow factor, and client side. So it has done all of these things. But I have detected something, Andreu, here.
What?
I have detected that the swipe controller, mobile-friendly input, that could be dangerous because we are not on mobile. I'm going to be showing this on the screen. So I'm going to tell him, hey, this is why it's important to still read.
Yeah.
Task 5, I like the swipe idea, but on this demo, I still want buttons so I can press the arrows in each direction. So it's going to change, right, that piece. And everything else, I'm okay. Everything else, I love it. Everything else, plan approved.
Before you
Now,
really do the play, let's make a wrap up, Victor, before.
yeah,
So
important thing here, by the way, sorry.
no, before, till now, to make it at least, this is our first, so it's a little bit difficult, but let's try to get it clear to the students. So you as a mentor and some students choose to make the game of the snake, the typical snake
Yep.
game. In that case, we're talking about web. Remember, we will work for Flutter, or we work in web environment, like Victor is expert, usually working with Node.js. So you choose as a student, as contributor, I want to make the LG Snake, typical game, the snake from the very old ancient Windows or ancient Symbian machines, the very first game there was on a phone. So you created some files and this on GitHub that explains some things that you think are interested for the LLM to know before you give the instructions to the LLM. You write some skills, some text, MD files at GitHub. So you started the interactions with the LLM in Antigravity, And the LLM is starting to think, okay, you want to do this. Okay, I know what snake is. I read your MD files, and I have those questions. And the machine started to give us some questions, and you started to interact with the machine, saying, okay, I choose A, or I choose B, or I find a problem there, whatever. This is something we have done till now. The LLM has generated zero code till now. Maybe has generated some MDs files, correct me if I'm wrong, some MD files just for the work. Still, we haven't done, the machine has done nothing. Zero code. For people to understand.
All of this code, right? All of this code, if we look, we can check, right? I mean, if we go to the terminal right now, let's open, let me do this very quickly, right? I'm gonna open a new terminal here, and we're gonna do the very engineering thing. I want to know what's happening, right, in this piece. So what I'm gonna do is git status. So what it has done so far is it has created 3 different documents. It has deleted the 3D part of the example, and it has made some very small changes on the package log and the package JSON and the server index.
By JSON and created MDs.
Yeah, it has created, it has put the name, it has put the multiplayer Liquid Galaxy, and it has, of course, made the branch main, right? It has made the init on that piece. But the reality, right, is that it has changed very little so far. It has coded very little because it didn't know what to code yet. Yeah. Now it knows, right?
Okay. Let's go.
So
let's go.
We're going to tell him, right, is task 5. I like the swipe idea, but on this demo, I still want button. So I can press arrows in each direction, everything else, plan approve, edit the plan. After that, do the educational verification again. Because if you see, it doesn't let me continue, Andrea. This is a tough mentor. It has some
skeptical
questions for
mentor.
Me, and unless I understood, it won't let me continue. And again, you can hack my skills. Yeah. You can change the skills.
You can delete.
But then as a student, you are not learning, Yeah.
That's not the way.
So I am currently just in task 5. So look at this. It opened the main plan again. So it's going to make edits on this main plan,
machine,
which
not
is what
Victor.
We wanted.
The LLM, not Victor. Victor is doing nothing. No. Just raise your hands.
Correct. Before we start the coding, that's the one foundation. Let's tackle the educational verification. This is a step that I coded, right, on these agents, and it's asking for it. So it's going to ask me 2 questions. Number 1, synchronization logic. If a player on the mobile controllers click the left arrow button, why do we send that event to the server first instead of telling the screens directly? Very good question, right? Engineering trade-offs. We chose a 60-pixel grid instead of 1 pixel perfect precision. How does this simplify our collision detection? Example, deciding if a snake hits its own tail or piece of food. So I'm going to answer these 2 questions, Andrea, but I would love to have a student next time. We'll put a student on the stream. All right, very good questions. Synchronization logic. The events are sent first to the server, which is the authoritative decisor in this project. What the server is going to do is take that left, it's going to make the change in directions, but before maybe it needs to check if a collision happened, if I lost the game, or if I found some food. The second on engineering trade-offs, by having 60 by 60 pixel grid, now I am guaranteeing that I can do collisions in a very easy way. Instead of checking pixel or even sub-pixel precision, I only need to know if 2 pieces of a snake or a snake and food are in the same grid or not. Let's see. If I pass the exam, Andrea, I'm worried.
Okay, let's have it clear. You have a skill that it's the skeptical mentor that wants you to know if you understand things. And the skill make you 2 questions. And you just press record voice. You do your feedback by voice. The system translates the voice to text. And what is the hardware he's doing? Or the machine, he or whatever
so
it is.
Now it's happy with me because
it's happy with you?
I'm using the LG execute. So now it's no longer planning. It's time to code.
Oh, really? So we are starting to code finally.
It's on it. It's already.
I mean, for having it clear to the people that is saying us, we still have done nothing or not too much. The machine has not done too much, except making us questions to have the work that the machine has to do, the LLM has to do, clear. As much clear the machine has to, the idea to do, as much good code or good application you will get back.
Yeah, and I'm going to close all of this. In fact, I'm going to go to the Open Manager because in here, we don't see the code, Andrea. We don't care anymore. we are crazy. Okay,
Actually, no, Victor, that's a
now.
very good point. Let's remember words from the manager of Anthropic, Dario, that
Yes.
yesterday at Davos, he remembers us the phrase, the very famous phrase, my engineers that I pay them to write fantastic code since 6 months ago, they don't code anymore. They just talk with Claude. I mean, we are talking with Antigravity, but they don't code. They just ask the machine what the machine has to do, and they review what the machine has done. 6 months,
Correct.
they don't write any more code. So push the camera of the students. I'm talking to you guys, the ones in the rear in the Liquid Galaxy Lab, a dozen persons here, and also to the students and other persons that we can see from the streaming, that the world is changing and Tsunami AI is here. So learn from Victor. Victor, what's the next step?
Okay, so it seems that batch one is complete and now has tell us what was built. We established the 60 pixel grid system. The verification logs confirm wall size, perfect. Engineering principles, data normalization by using integer-based grid. Wow factor, the foundation is now set for perfect transitions across the massive 3 to 40 canvas. Ready for batch two, tax 3, neo rendering, and food growth and collisions. Yes. And again, Andrew, I've been answering A, B, A, yes, no.
Yeah.
And the only long things have been the questions of my skeptical
mentor. If you don't ask the machine, if you don't have the skill for a skeptical mentor, you don't have any interaction about A, B, C, whatever. So the model
because
is
of my skills, right? Because of these skills that I have generated for our students. If you don't have this kind of educational purpose, because the purpose of my agent is not to make Liquid Galaxy applications. Liquid Galaxy applications are a byproduct. The purpose of this framework is to teach the students. That's the number one purpose.
Exactly.
Number second, very closely, right? But first, the purpose is to teach. Second, the purpose is to generate good application. But the number one purpose, and this is why, right, is asking, is explaining more, is going and is mentioning things that you would find in engineering books, right? Because it's trying to make me a better engineer when I'm going through it. That's his mission, and that's how I coded this thing, right?
Exactly, that's his mission.
Once
because
more,
you code this way the LLM, the skills of in that case in Antigravity, because you did that because you want to train. But again, if you wanted to make your own work, we can tell while the machine and your hands are writing nothing. So you will do it in another way. I mean, you will teach with the agent's skills in another way, because it will be real work. But this is for training. And finally, as a subproduct, you say, there will be a Liquid Galaxy application. And I have a question.
As a result of teaching our student engineers better, as a result of that, we'll get good applications. But the purpose was to teach.
So
and second, to build applications.
There is only one agent running on now?
Right now, I only have one agent. We're going to have a second conference at some point to run parallel agents. But
because that's a very
agent.
important point. You can have several agents running at the same time. That's amazing. So, and also they can.
In fact, Andreu, I won't lie to you. Right now, I have 4 agents working in 2 different projects while I'm here.
Yeah.
So I have.
There are
agents
4
running
Victors.
on my other project.
This Victor and a couple other Victors managing their agents that are doing other projects. What a crazy world we are gonna live.
What a crazy world.
What a crazy world. So, what is the
ready for the finale, Andreu?
Ready
Apparently,
for the finale?
It has done the rendering. It has done the physics, verification, and engineering principles. So now it's telling me we are almost there. The last step is to give the player some control. Hybrid multi-snake controller, directional buttons plus swipe input on neon. That's it. Local cosmetics trail, the client-side ghost that stays on the screen. Does the current movement speed, move interval 10 feel right to you, or should we make it faster or a final build? I do not know. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to tell him. I don't know if the speed works for us. I haven't seen it yet. Could you launch the server and take a look?
Really? We are going to see the demo finally.
I don't know. I'm going to ask because it's asking me, and I haven't seen the demo yet.
Yeah.
So let's see,
Actually, the size of the screen, maybe you can increase a bit the size of the text.
Oh, yes. Oops, maybe this is too big now. Andreu, it has
Agent
opened on
is
my other
run.
screen.
It,
It opened something.
okay, the browser, because we are doing a web thing. Take a look at this. We have a.
That was a snake, by the way. Just saying, okay? That was a snake
we see
right
a
there.
snake crossing the screen, but we have
And
only
it's
one.
funny because it opened one screen only, right? So because it opened one screen only, the snake is going and it's probably going around, the other screen on the other side and coming back. We don't know, right? We are not seeing the
But the
whole
system
thing.
is still running.
But look at that. Look at that, okay? But is the speed okay? Is that speed okay? To me, it is, right? I mean, the speed actually works fairly well. So look at this. Is even, by the way, if you look at this, playback available. It made a video, Andreu. It made a video.
You make a video.
So it's analyzing, right? It's analyzing with such a detail that is taking screenshots and is making videos of it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, it's controlling our browser, right? And it's making videos. And look at this. It opened here, right? A screen 1, and then it opened another tab, a screen 2 in here. Let's see what screen it opened. A screen 0, right? So look at that. That's a mistake probably. So this is really funny, right? Because I can do a screen 1.
Yeah.
Right now I cannot control this screen. She is
Because it's
controlling the
controlled
screen.
by the agent.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take here. I'm gonna open another one, right? But look at that. That is a screen 1, right? Over here. I'm gonna fold it. That number, by the way, comes with my agent. I'm gonna copy and paste this URL.
And write the
I'm gonna put
number
here
of the
a
screen.
Screen 2, right? I'm gonna put it over here, and I'm gonna open yet another one. I'm gonna put it here, and I'm gonna put the screen 2.
It's moving across the screens.
Look at this.
Whoops. Error. You have maybe
What happened here? Let's see.
You wrote the wrong number.
What is screen 3?
Yeah.
There we go. What?
1, 2, and 3. And now,
And 3.
where are the controllers?
That's a very good question. We haven't coded them yet. So look at that. You see, it's going.
How we have a snake that starts at screen 1, goes to screen 2, and then to screen 3. Okay, and the real thing is that the machine is asking us if this speed is okay for us. Is that right?
That's the thing. So do we like this speed, Andreu?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
I think
or
it's
it's
perfect.
too slow, you think?
To start, is perfect.
It's perfect. All right. Hey, the speed is great. Let's finish.
Oh my goodness. Really? It's going to finish this? Oh, so the machine is going to grow also the code
I'm
for
going
the
to close this,
interface?
but you saw, right? This is what I really like of Antigravity is that for web applications, it's amazing because look at this. Here is the shot of the screen 1. So it took and it made a screenshot and it knew exactly, right, what everything was. So it tested graphically because these models are multi-model. They can see. So it literally took a screenshot,
Himself,
which is what you would do, right?
Take a screenshot of himself and himself analyze with a multimodal agent the image to see what the hell
and it created the
wrote.
Right? So it created the artifact of this piece and it showed it to us, right? And look at that. It made a video, you see, playback available. So what it did is it made a video. A freaking video out of Chrome, and it saved the video because it was using frame by frame trying to see if it's moving. So if it's working. So it knows it works because it has seen it work.
So the funny thing is that the machine
right?
writes, the machine pints, and the machine itself analyzes what it has pined. So we have the interface. Really, we have the interface.
LG Snake controller. It's right
here. We have a controller. That's the fourth screen.
I'm going to help him again.
Fourth screen. I like the trails. Look at the trails. You have to explain the trails.
The trails are pretty awesome.
I see some very nice trails. The machine asks us, do you want trails? And we ask, yes. We want these trails. So
it is really crazy. So I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna kind of re-put the 3 screens and everything because the problem is that it doesn't know how to place them for me to see. It's placing them for the AI to see, right?
Okay.
But for me to see, I need to help him, right?
Yeah, okay. You have to move the screens around.
Yeah, so this is number 1. Okay. I'm gonna put this is to be number 2, and I'm gonna put this is gonna be number 3, and I'm gonna take this one. So I'm gonna put the controller over here so we can see everything, okay?
Ooh.
So look at this.
Look at this.
2,
really? Move the snake down. Move the snake. Move it down. I want to see. Oh, up. Right. Down. Go to the right. No. Okay, 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 okay. Woo! You did it, man. Oh,
Oh, I failed.
that's a little bit more difficult. No, okay, you're enlarging the snake. You're good. You have many
How
Symbian
incredible is
phones.
this?
you
How
play
incredible is
you
this,
play a
Andrea?
lot,
It's
Snake.
working.
Wow. I don't know, guys, if you understand what you are saying, but this needs an applause to Victor. Applause.
No, to Gemini, I mean, that was Gemini, man. But
Okay.
it's kind of insane, right? What we have just done, this shouldn't be possible, but here we are.
Victor,
Here we are.
you have to talk to your mic because your mic is so direct that if you move
So,
to the right.
I was saying that here we are, right? By the way, do you see these trails, this kind of trails that he's doing here on the
Wow, he
screen?
leaves
He's not doing
trials.
them here
Okay.
because they are local. So look at this. I need to update the 3. And now, you see,
Okay,
because they
yeah,
are
you make a
local, I did
refresh
that
and
on
it
purpose.
started to have the okay.
Correct, because we want it on every screen, right? So look
So-
at this. I'm going to put
so-
this a little bit smaller over here.
Victor,
right?
that's crazy. Let's gonna go back
Yes.
yesterday when we were
It is.
talking to the students and said one project usually takes for a contributor 3 months on the summer till now. It takes now, I said, Victor Carrera said 30 minutes, some other students say other numbers, and I said 3 minutes because you told me. So let's try to make it clear what happens here. I will try to explain and correct me, please. So you have an idea what you want to do. You want to make an LGS
I'm going to
Snake
play
game.
Snake in the meantime, Andrea, if that's okay.
Yeah, okay, that's no problem. You want to make an Liquid Galaxy Node.js base, multi-browser base, one browser in each screen game. Okay. You try in the machine writing some skills in MDs files, telling some things. Even you write a very special skill, something like the skeptical mentor skill, because you want also the machine to train the student. And the machine started to, when you say to the machine, start to do the program, the activity, the machine make you questions. Make you questions like the trails, like other questions. And then you ask briefly, answer A, B, or at some point, you give the machine some other instructions by voice. Instead of writing, you write also at some points. But those things were not the real programming thing. When you finally press do the thing, the machine took, I think, 2 minutes, not 3.
Basically.
2 minutes.
Less than 2.
You make the machine, you train, make a Liquid Galaxy game for Node.js in 2 minutes. Something it took months before. Months.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
It's amazing.
That is absolutely correct. It's crazy. So let's see, right? Because let's talk. We forgot that we were talking with someone here. So look at this architecture. The grid-based architecture is perfectly implemented. Visuals, the neon rendering, and local cosmetic trails provided exactly with the wow factor that we wanted. Tooling, link pass. It has everything. So now let's see what happens, Andreu, if I open another controller, because we haven't tested that.
Another controller. Ooh.
We said that we wanted multiplayer. Is this
That's
multiplayer?
right.
I haven't seen 2 players here.
So you're gonna use your other
So-
Victor agent to play with the other controller.
So I'm gonna remove all of this for 1 second here. So I'm gonna open this. I'm gonna open this. I'm gonna close a few things so it's easier to see on my side. Sorry about that. This is organizational only. Sorry. I'm gonna remove Antigravity from here. I'm gonna remove Antigravity from here, and this is I'm gonna remove the terminal. Everything. Okay.
Okay.
So now controller, right in here, I have a controller. So what happens if I open another one? Because we wanted multiplayer and we haven't tested it, and it didn't ask me many questions about multiplayer. So maybe it
Yeah.
forgot, and we have to help him.
Uh-huh.
So now we have another controller, and look at this. You see,
Yeah.
it's the same snake, Andreu.
It's the same.
So this is not yet multiplayer.
Yeah.
So hey,
The
let's
two
go.
screens
Let's
send
go.
the
Ask,
same
if you
instructions.
think.
And you are asked to the model, hey model, you did it bad. I wanted you to make it multiplayer, so
We have one last thing here. Before you quiz me, we are building a multiplayer game. Every time we create a new controller, a new snake with a different color should appear, and collisions should be not only for snakes and borders, but also between snakes. And by the way, I want to pick the color of my snake in the controller.
Oh, good. Okay, okay. You're gonna change from the green one to whatever color. He will make a pick color, a picker
I
color.
want to change it, right?
Okay,
Don't
we
you
have to
want to
change the
change it? I
code.
want to change it.
Of course, he knows the code, or it knows the code. I don't know how to name those things without gender or what.
So
It,
look at this.
them.
It
What?
is a new feature, Andreu. So what it does? Brainstorming again.
Okay.
So now it's gonna ask me, right?
Asking
Very, very
questions.
quickly. So spawn logic.
A,
So
B,
what do you want?
C.
Randomly anywhere, screen aware spawning, random but safe. So we're gonna do random but safe, C.
Okay.
Expansion plan, Andreu, look at this. It's creating new tasks.
Okay.
And now I'm gonna tell you, okay, implement. But look at this. Before implementing,
Yeah.
we cannot implement, Andreu. Multiplayer scoping. Why is it important for the server to use Socket.io when handling the change direction event? What would happen if we edited the player one for every single socket? Concurrency in a liquid data set with 3 screens. If 2 players on the opposite screen hit each other, right, that the server ensure both the screens see the collision at the exact same time. This is 2 very important questions that he's asking me, and it wouldn't let me, right,
Yeah.
continue as we go on that part. So I'm gonna ask the questions. The multiplayer scoping, as you mentioned, is really important. We are using Socket.io and the Socket ID to make sure that we recognize what client, in this case, which controller is sending that information. Regarding concurrency, the server is broadcasting essentially to every single screen the same information, guaranteeing that the controller changes that we made are being seen in all screens at the same time. With this said, go with the implementation. So I answer correctly, hopefully, both questions. And if by answering correctly both questions, it will continue. But
Or maybe
have you seen this?
making new questions.
I wanted to do this intentionally, right? Because the moment that you ask something new, it doesn't go off the script. It goes back to my script. And my script is brainstorming, planning, verification that you understand what you're asking, and then executing.
Okay. Another question.
Yes.
No, it's generating, validate, working, it's doing the
Yeah,
code.
it's on it.
So also,
You see?
one question was, Victor, I think there is also a way of telling the system, Antigravity or other systems like this, that we are not going to ask you a question. No, we are not going to answer your question. Just do it yourself. So something like you say, no questions, and then the machines does ask you any question, and the machine does it as by itself what the machine wants. Is that right?
And that you can even do, right? Because if you think at no point in time has Antigravity asked me to approve any of these changes, right? If you remember, at no point in time he has asked me, and this is because if you see in here, you see these accept all, etc., and these workflows, right? When I'm on these workflows, there are a configuration in Antigravity that I can ask for permission to make all of these changes, right? Or go what is called on that.
You have it. Go yourself. So stop here. No, stop in this screen because I want to ask you one important question for the people listening us. Victor, you are using Antigravity. That is the code that handles different agents and different LLMs. And in this window you are showing, you're using at this moment Gemini 3 Flash. Is that right?
So there are several, right? Through
Antigravity has linked to many different models. In this case, those ones you are opening. GPT whatever, Cloud Code whatever, and Gemini whatever. My question is, you can select different models. The model you choose is Gemini Flash, 3 Flash, or is doing the intelligence behind the activities we are having today is behind Gemini 3, but you can choose Cloud or whatever. And also the other question, Victor, is what a contributor or a person is showing us needs to have and how much it will cost to do that. So Antigravity is free. It's a code. You just go Google, Antigravity, download, and it installs on your computer. Is that right? It's an executable.
Correct. It is an executable, right? You download it, and it's an IDE in the same way that you download the notepad or
whatever. Then we are using a model, and are we connected to, in that case, you are connected to your own account? Are you paying for this intelligence AI?
Yes. So in this case, I am paying for Gemini, but everything that I did today, I did it with Gemini Flash, which is the fastest possible code that exists today, right? On that piece.
It
And
means
it's
that
the cheaper,
you expend
and also
very few.
it has a very generous free plan. So actually you
Exactly.
can use this no problem with the current thing. So right now, Andreo,
Do you expect?
I don't know if you are
sorry,
seeing this.
to end the
Sorry.
question is: do you expect, before we go to the code, do you think, Victor, that how much money have you spent for real in this demo? If you have spent
In the-
any, because this is a free tire.
Yeah,
Very cheap.
nothing.
Nothing.
No money.
So guys, this camera for the guys, this cost zero. Zero cost
To
to
me.
do that, the show that Victor has shown to you all. Zero. I mean, you just download Antigravity, select your LLM. In that case, Gemini Flash 3 Flash is the fastest, and also have, as Victor says, a very long free tire. Free tire means that you have credits. You can make many questions to the LLM without paying for it. And today's code, this lovely LG Snake, the machine has code for that with the instruction for Victor, has cost zero. This is part also of the tsunami AI wave we have. Zero is so cheap. Explain the thing, Victor, now.
So we are seeing, we just died over there. I don't know if you saw, but we are seeing right now the remote in here. I can change my color in real time, right, for my
Take a
snake.
look at this. You can
So I
change
can
the
make-
color.
Of
You
course.
just say to the machine, I want to choose a color. The machine put you a color picker there. And then we have 4 snakes.
And look at that, they are dying. You see, I can kill them now because I can put myself in the middle, and because right now no one is controlling the other players, I
Yeah.
can literally kill them. You know, so I can actually. I'm gonna make it myself a little bit. Oh,
Oy,
that was
almost.
so close. That was so close. So I'm gonna try to kill. You know, oh no. Oh,
If you don't try,
So
you
this
will
is-
you will
yeah.
achieve it. If you try, you will not.
yeah. So
Yes.
now, right? By the way, I am now using the arrows in my keyboard. I didn't tell him to do that, but they did it anyway.
That's very interesting. The machine map automatically the arrows on the user interface in the web to your keyboard.
I'm using the arrows right now,
But
Andrea.
you
and
didn't
I
tell the
ask for
machine
it.
to do that, but the machine is so intelligent to.
I did. I
make-
wanted to click the arrows, and he did two things. He put the arrows on the remote, and also give me the, because I was telling him I'm testing on a computer. He actually did this for me, but I didn't ask. It's crazy.
Totally.
I'm gonna kill these guys. Okay, I'm gonna try to force them to kill. But now I want more things. You know,
Okay.
I want a leaderboard. I want a score. I want so many things, right? That I don't have yet. But the point stands. I can ask for more features, as we just saw.
Okay.
So, Andreu, there is one last thing, and it's
Which one?
let's see that final piece, and it's LG Snake is now fully realized multiplayer experience. Are you ready to face the Liquid Galaxy Quiz Master and claim your graduation
Let's
report?
explain it. You make a
Yes.
skill. You make a skill, and this skill is going to ask you a question about what happens today. Is that right?
Correct.
Because
so
you are
now
teaching.
we're gonna see.
You're teaching the
If we-
guys, the persons that will use this. You're teaching. You are
By
the
the
skeptical
way-
mentor
by the
and
way-
also a query mentor. Just you're making
This
them.
year,
Yeah.
students are gonna be doing this quiz live for everyone to see.
Exactly. I told them yesterday. This year the code reviews are going to be a bit different and a bit lovely, I will say.
And I have a spoiler, Andreo. I've been working on a voice of a TV show host
Oh my
that
goodness.
is gonna be doing these questions via voice.
Okay,
just,
okay.
um,
You
it's
don't,
gonna be pretty
please
impressive.
don't name just in case copyright takes down the video for copyright
Of
claims.
Welcome to Who Wants to Be a Liquid Galaxy Engineer?
Oh my
I am
goodness.
your host, the Quiz Master, and I am absolutely pumped to be here with you tonight. You have taken a blank canvas and turned it into a high-octane, neon-drenched multiplayer arena. I have watched you battle through the path resolution, coordinate scaling, and dynamic spawning logic, and you have come on top. We have 5 high-stake questions standing between you and your Liquid Galaxy graduation report.
Ooh. Let's go.
Are you ready to play?
Yes.
Let's get started.
Question one.
Question one. Okay. So in LG Snake, a player on their phone swipes right. We send that signal to the server, and then the server broadcasts the new position to all screens. The high stakes question is, if we change the game, so it's tricky, careful. If we change the game, so the controller send the new position directly to the screens, skipping the server, why would our Liquid Galaxy experience fall apart? It's a good question. You see, it's asking us the opposite of what he has been teaching us. But in order to see if we understood the concept, now he's asking us the opposite. What happens if you don't do this? I'm gonna do my best, Andrea, but I'm nervous. Okay.
You know the answer.
Okay. The
Just
server
make it.
needs. Right. Sorry. Wait.
No.
You're interrupting me. I'm already in the middle of an exam.
I'm going to say that just do the wrong answer because you two know the right one, but just do the wrong one.
You want to put the wrong one? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to put the wrong one.
Yeah. It is because the flux capacitor works only on the server.
Very good answer. Let's see what the machine says. Flux capacitor. Spoil. We are back to the future.
Look at this. So you see what I mentioned before? In all seriousness, you are exactly right. The timeline in the screens try to manage the logic individually. We can say it one's drift. So in here, you see, I just tricked the machine. It was a clear failure. You see this?
Yeah.
It was a clear failure. And that's what these machines do, by the way. But you will see that I have protected myself against this type of thing. This is, by the way, then this is a risk, right, of having this done in a live demo.
Yeah.
It has says correct. It's obviously wrong.
And it's totally wrong because the flux capacitor is not there.
But you will see that I have protected myself against this as well, and I will show you how. But I'm really happy that it failed live because this shows you how silly these systems can be if they are not super trained. But by the way, I am going to use this later. Look at my repo because I'm going to improve my skill, that piece of skill. So this doesn't happen again. So I'm going to improve.
Let me recap.
Sorry, yes.
Okay. The question was, the machine make you question just to see if you are aware of what's going on or what you have done. So the machine has done. So the first question is that what happened instead of sending an instruction to the server, using the instruction to a screen, to one of the PCs on the rig. And then we have clear the answer, because the answer, if you don't send to the main controller, this is going to be a mess. We need a central controller for a central application to control the way on every piece on every screen is the information. So you answer a silly question, based in Back to the Future, that the flux capacitor will whatever help, and the machine says that's correct, and this is totally incorrect. So machine is wrong. So that's the way we don't have to be.
Let's confront it.
Okay, I just I gave you a nonsense.
At least now it activated the skeptical mentor.
Okay, that's the point. Okay, good.
You're absolutely right to call me out. I was so caught up in the TV show Persona that I let a pop culture joke slide instead of holding you to the high engineering standard we have been bringing toward in a regular Galaxy layer environment. There are no flux capacitor, only socket, clusters, latency interval, and atomic state.
No, we have it.
The skeptical challenge, you see, a state update. Before we move in further this quiz, I need you to prove that I actually understand the sync. Forget the jokes in plain professional engineering terms. Explain exactly how the state update event ensures that the snake moving at 60 frames per second across different browsers doesn't tear or look like it's into places at once. I am recording this session as a critical learning checkpoint.
Wow.
So now you see, it's making, you see?
It's a recording.
This is another thing that I did, right? And is these mentor sessions are stored in documentation, and you, the students, are going to have to commit this to the repo, and I'm going to review the conversations that you have.
Maybe the contributors that still saying our video will understand what we said yesterday. This is going to be a tsunami AI year with tsunami changes in the way we do the code. For sure. Amazing. Let's see the other question, and maybe we can start to wrap up. It's almost 12 here. So I don't know what time is here in your place.
The state update is really important because it ensures that all screens are seeing this exactly at the same time. It is the server that needs to have the authoritative state, and it ensures that everyone sees the same, and only the logical decisions of dying, getting longer, etc., are decided in one place and broadcast to everyone. So I'm gonna stop it and I'm gonna send it. So that's obviously a correct answer, right? And it's gonna hopefully recognize it as
Maybe
such.
not. Maybe the machine has
But I'm gonna
something to
improve
say.
the quiz. This won't happen again. I'm gonna improve this
Okay,
later.
okay.
Um, so rock solid. Now, questions two. So I'm gonna go right. I think maybe Andrea to see the finale, we can wait because this is gonna take some time to do these questions well. So I think if you are at home, the best thing that you can do is go today to my GitHub, Victor. Sorry, BSV Dev. I'm gonna be linking this later in the description of this video as well. So go there, download it, and start playing. Start creating your own systems
That's
out of
the
this. But
most
as you
important
just saw,
communication
there's
of
so much that we
today.
can do.
Victor, that's the most important thing. You are sharing with the people your work. Is that right?
So what I'm sharing here is not this game. You won't be able to play a Snake. I'm so sorry,
No,
but this is gonna be deleted after
of
today,
course.
because you're gonna have to build it yourself if
Yeah.
you want to play it.
You are going to
So
share
what
the
I'm gonna do,
skills that you develop, the skills that you
correct?
develop to show the students, contributors, or whoever person in the world how you have to do it. And then they will have to repeat this. And again, you have made very good explanations, but the real thing is that it took 2 to 3 minutes just to make the game, and a few more minutes to change to the options you wanted, to change the colors, to get the multiplayer.
To make it multiplayer
this
took a
is
few
this is
extra minutes,
what
but
we
not many.
say. This is the tsunami year. Tsunami. We have the tsunami of the Liquid Galaxy. You are not seeing it, Victor, but it's on the streaming. A tsunami with the AI and the Liquid Galaxy logo. This is gonna be crazy. Oh my goodness! I don't have words. I don't have words. This is crazy, and this has been
Did you,
free,
Leo, did you think?
zero
Can,
cost.
can you show me the students? 1 second on the
Oh
screen.
sure. Here, students.
Okay, so guys, who is gonna try this tonight? I mean,
Okay.
I promise you, I talked a lot, but who is gonna try this tonight? Give me a raise of hands.
I'm not seeing any
Would you
hands.
try this?
They
Yes
are
or no?
shy. They are shy.
No, no hands.
No
You're not
hands.
gonna try it.
1, 2, 3,
I
4,
failed
5, 7,
completely.
8. There are something like we are something 12 person here, and no one is raising the hand. Maybe
And no
they are not
hands.
understanding, or maybe only a third are programmers, developers.
Are they listening though? I'm
They're listening to
surprised.
you.
I'm
They're
so
listening.
sad.
Just
So
ask them
sad.
to
Yeah,
raise
yeah.
the hand.
So no one
No,
is
it's a
trying.
chagaloma,
No
tots.
one is trying. No,
They listen.
what?
They
Nah,
listen.
nah, nah. Now I don't believe you. I'm sorry,
No,
but
no.
it
I
was
say
too
yes.
slow.
I say just raise your hand. This is for you to demonstrate that they are
No, no.
listening.
I fair. So
So
no,
no,
they
but
clearly
we
not
we can do
listening.
another question if you want. We can go to the chat. Allow me 1 second because we are live in YouTube. Just share, amazing work, Boomy, Josh, Tanish, Dina Bayask, just many Aniket, Saumia. So do yourself the question to the live streaming. So how many, and they will
Yeah.
make them answer on the
How
chat.
many of you how many of you will you be trying this tonight?
Okay.
Because if you try it, what I would do is that with the Liquid Galaxy Web Starter Kit hashtag, please share it with us on social networks. I want to see your games. So go make a game today, with this framework, and let me know what questions the skeptical mentor asks you. I would love to see if this worked for you. I will continue to improve these agents. I hope that you learned something today with these skills and these kind of abilities. Yeah, hopefully you can start, playing around with
At
this.
least see,
I
Victor,
recommend, by the way,
at least I
yes,
see Boomy, Raska, Tanish, Divanjas, 5 or 6 persons are saying that they're gonna try your code. Woo.
that's good. That's
Okay.
good. That's good.
Okay.
So go try it, have fun with it. And I will continue that. But what I recommend is that on top of this, right, read the code, of course, that the AI generate, read the agents that I have created, and remember that this project is open source. If any of my skills recommend you something silly, come and fix them, do a
Make a
PR,
PR.
fix the skills, right? Continue to improve them. If you have further ideas, today I didn't use Nano Banana to create like an apple maybe or something like that, but we could have created something else. There is a lot that can be done with this. With this said, Andreu, I think we went already over our original plan, but I think even though
It
we
always
started
happens,
late, I
but
wanted to be able.
I have to thank you because
course.
you are in very late night for you today, and it's been almost 2 hours.
8 p.m. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay,
we're,
okay,
we're,
okay.
we're, we're good. We're
Okay,
good.
fantastic. So thank you. I think this session has been
Okay, hopefully you
amazing,
liked it. And
amazing, and spectacular. I said yesterday with the except of the of the of the problems we had, initial problems. You know, that's complicated. But I believe
Yeah.
that finally the streaming has went well, and we see the comments from the other contributors, lovers that are here in the Liquid Galaxy Lab in Lleida. And it's totally been amazing. I don't know if my voice has been robotic. Let me ask you, Tanishka, Bumi, are you listening to me so robotic? Tanish, in the YouTube chat, how is my voice? We are ending now the thing, and just mentor Mikel is just no. Bumi says that my voice is not robotic, Victor. So we have a real ghost today with the voice.
what a mystery. What a
So-
mystery, I have to say, you know.
Mentor Mikel has just
What
arrived.
a mystery.
You will have Mikel to see that live demo Mentor Victor has done from South Korea today, because it's been an AI demonstration totally amazing. So something with the students that the GSOC did in 3 months with the AI, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. We have a
The world has changed a lot.
tsunami coming in the world of coding, and it's crazy. So Victor, again, thank
The
you very
world
much
has
for your
changed a lot.
time. Thank you for being mentor at the Liquid Galaxy project, for training the
Of
students.
course.
And always, my friend, thank you, and see you soon.
Thank you for having me. I hope that everyone had fun. And yeah, Victor Sanchez on Twitter. Make sure to send me your projects. Have a good one, everyone. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye-bye, everyone.
See you soon. Bye bye.